Live, KVRR Local News at 8 is on right now.
September is Suicide Prevention Month, and this morning we report on warning signs and what's being done to help veterans. A chocolate fantasy helping women in our community. We're live with the YWCA this morning. This year's drought could actually be helpful for Halloween. Find out why pumpkins benefit from the dry conditions. And Pet Connection, meet a buddy who could bring a spark of joy into your life.
Live, KVRR Local News at 8 is on right now.
Good morning. It's just after 8 a.m. Thanks for joining us for only local news from 7 to 9 a.m. I am Adam Ladwig, and we have a nice day for you, if a bit breezy and a bit hazy, but at least the weather looks great and your commute looking pretty smooth this morning too. So let's start off the hour with a check of the weather with KVRR meteorologist Mariah Bush. She joins us as always. Good morning, Mariah.
Good morning, Adam, and good morning, Fargo. Waking up to a nice start to your early morning. We're taking a look here on your KVRR tower cam, and we're looking out into the sky this morning, seeing a bit of haze and even dealing with that smoke continuing today. But overall, it will gradually improve. We're seeing some improvement this morning, and we'll continue to see that heading into the afternoon. But temperatures as of right now, 50 degrees. So again, on the cooler side, you might want to hold on to a lighter jacket, and then, obviously you can take that off and, be cooler into the afternoon. But overall, here is your satellite and radar. We are mostly dealing with a high pressure today that is going to kind of help us out and keep us mostly sunny for majority of the afternoon. We do have some things going on around us, some pretty light showers out further to the west and east of us. But again, a pretty quiet part of our morning for much of the region. So let's talk about your futurecast. We're heading into overall a pretty nice clear day, a mostly sunny day for majority of the afternoon, and those nice clear skies do continue into your Thursday night, early Friday morning as well. But we are going to see our rain chances increasing by the time we head throughout your early Saturday morning. So you do want to keep that in mind if you have any plans to start off your early Saturday morning. The winds today, mostly single digits to little to no wind in some areas. We are seeing the winds pick up some speed across the Devil's Lake Basin, through Carrington into Harvey as well. That south wind right around 5 to 15 miles per hour, but those winds do kind of relax by the time you're heading back into your Thursday evening and night, still keeping that southeast wind flow under about 10 miles per hour. And you've heard it for majority of the week, even throughout this morning, that we are still dealing with that smoke. But again, it is improving compared to the map that we seen yesterday. Still seeing some of those higher concentrations out further west into portions of western North Dakota, but into Minot and Bismarck, but even stretching down to South Dakota as well into Sioux Falls. But for our specific area into the Red River Valley, we are looking into a bit better terms in terms of that smoke as we're heading throughout the early morning hours. Here is a look this morning into the Duluth area, and you'll see overall things are pretty calm, pretty serene. The sun is also on the rise. It is about 54, 56 degrees there this morning, even dealing with some of those breezy winds. You can kind of tell by the flag there kind of blowing around there, but we are heading into overall a pretty nice start for much of the morning across much of our region. So let's talk about those highs today. 75 in Carrington, mostly northern Minnesota. We'll also see temperatures in the lower 70s today. 69 in Bagley, a bit of a cool spot there, as well as a 64 in Baudette. Once you're getting a bit further into portions of Lakes Country, a bit warmer. We are seeing temperatures right around 69 in Park Rapids, kind of that cool spot there, and 75 in Breckenridge looks like the warmest today. And once you're getting towards areas of southeast North Dakota, 76 in Oaks, and about 74 for that high right here into your Fargo-Moorhead area. On your KVRR Weather Authority 7-day forecast, heading throughout the rest of your week. Friday starting off fairly nice, mostly sunny with a high of 80. Into Saturday, we are going to see a chance of those early morning showers, mostly in the hours of 6 to about 7 a.m. with a high of 73. Heading through Sunday, we'll stay mostly sunny with a high of 72. And the nice sunshine continues over to start your new work week off as well, with temperatures in the lower 70s.
Thank you, Mariah. Well, according to the CDC, suicide is the 10th leading cause of death among adults in the U.S. and the second leading cause of death among people 24 and under. KVRR's Hami Rain reports on some warning signs and what can be improved for our veterans this morning.
The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention says changes in how someone talks, their mood and behavior can be the most troubling warning signs.
At AFSP, we're working so hard to change the culture around mental health. We want people to take care of their mental health just like they take care of their physical health, and we know that by working together, talking about warning signs, talking about risk factors, and changing that culture, we can save lives and bring hope to those affected by suicide.
The AFSP is hosting an Out of the Darkness walk on September 17th at Shields Arena as part of National Suicide Prevention Week. They say it's a hard battle to fight, but it's always rewarding.
Saving lives and bringing hope to those affected by suicide, that's a hard ask, especially here in the Midwest where we think we've got it in our minds, but then the second it comes time for it to come out of our mouths, it takes practice, and it can be difficult, it can be discouraging, but it is also one of the highest rewarding things one can be involved in.
According to the American Warrior Project study with the Department of Defense, out of veterans in 8 states, including Minnesota, the daily rate of suicide was just under 1.4 times greater than previously reported by the VA. The talk around veterans and how they're affected by suicide has become more mainstream, where expressing emotions is becoming less frowned upon. Officials say 24/7 services where vets can physically go to if they're in a crisis can be a huge help.
That's just really difficult, and that there isn't those resources available, because typically, you know, if you're busy through 8 to 4, 8 to 5, and you're having your crisis, it's going to be later on at night, and then that's when the resources aren't available. Teddy Roosevelt, he lost his mother and wife in the same day, and he came out here to North Dakota, you know, the Medora area, and he famously said that depression will never catch a man on a fast horse. You know, so find your fast horse to get on and you know, ride.
Hami Rain, KVRR Local News.
The AFSP is trying to raise $170,000 to support mental health research. We have a link on KVRR.com. And if you or a loved one is experiencing disturbing thoughts, dial 988. Well, 3 people found dead at a townhome development in Breezy Point, Minnesota, that is north of Brainerd. Authorities responded to White Birch Estates around 8:45 Tuesday night. So far, they have not shared any details about the deaths or the identities of the victims. They don't believe there is a threat to the public. Sheriff's Office, Breezy Point Police Department, and Bureau of Criminal Apprehension are investigating. The fire that damaged Prairie Public Broadcast's building in the early morning hours of August 18th is deemed unintentional this morning. The cause was determined to be from smoking materials. Fargo Fire Marshal Dane Carley said on the day of the fire that it was clear some type of work had been done on the roof and that a large air handling unit was on fire. He compared the fire to the size of a burning vehicle.
It was reported a fire visible on the top of that building, and when we arrived on scene, they deployed suppression efforts. They were able to extinguish it rather quickly, and upon investigation results, it was determined to be unintentional by discarded smoking materials.
The fire department did not have any further details. A Lisbon, North Dakota man faces a 40-year prison sentence this morning on federal child porn charges. 29-year-old Craig Greger was sentenced in U.S. District Court in Fargo. An investigation found that Greger repeatedly filmed himself sexually abusing a 6-year-old child. Prosecutors say he later shared the video with others on the internet. A search of Greger's electronic devices resulted in thousands of images and videos of child porn. U.S. Attorney Max Schneider says the 4-decade sentence is more than justified considering the defendant's breathtakingly abhorrent crimes. Another person involved in the Operation Denial drug ring is sentenced to prison in Fargo. 42-year-old Marie of Montreal got 23 years for her part in the international drug trafficking case. Prosecutors say it was run by a man in a medium security prison in Quebec, Canada. Was convicted in April in the case of at least 9 overdoses, 4 fatal. The investigation began after the overdose death of 18-year-old Bailey Hankey in Grand Forks in 2015. 31 people have been charged in North Dakota, 3 in Oregon. There's a $5 million reward for the arrest and conviction of the Chinese national who is believed to be the leader of the enterprise. Students are back in school this week in Minnesota, but the focus is on who's not in some schools this morning. Ramsey County, Minnesota, where St. Paul is among the department's pulling officers from schools. Sammy Salina talked to the sheriff.
Today, kids went back to school, and they're less safe this year than they were last year.
Ramsey County Sheriff Bob Fletcher joins the growing number of law enforcement agencies in Minnesota pulling school resource officers.
You know, the primary issue is that officers need the flexibility to restrain a person on the ground.
Ramsey County had 6 SROs in schools, pulling all of them for what Fletcher says are liability issues. The SROs served several schools in the county, including the Mounds View Public School District and 3 alternative schools in Little Canada.
We're going to see increases in disorderly behavior because those officers are no longer there all the time.
So you see the value in SROs, so why take them out of those schools?
We can't have the risk of one of our officers being accused of a crime for doing his job. We train them to use prone restraint.
There is an interpretation that the Attorney General has talked about where it is lawful if there could be danger of death or bodily harm.
The problem is things don't start out being a danger of bodily harm or death. They escalate over time.
Sheriff Fletcher is joining the calls for Governor Walz to hold a special session to clarify the law.
The public expects that issues this big, this important to their children is going to have a full discussion with law enforcement input.
As for now, Fletcher says his deputies who worked as SROs will spend 75% of their time at schools, but will have other duties.
Fletcher says he does not know how long these officers will stay at those schools in their new capacity because he doesn't know how long he can afford to keep them there since there's no longer a contract with the school. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz says he's open to the idea of a special session to address concerns. And new this morning, new time, same sweet event. YWCA's 40th annual Chocolate Fantasy is here. KVRR's Bree Bowling is living the fantasy live this morning, telling us what we can expect if we plan to go there today. Good morning, Bree.
That is correct. Good morning. I am here at the Delta by Marriott where from 11 to 2 today there's going to be a silent auction and so many fun events, all supporting YWCA of Cass Clay. I'm here with Becky, or should I say the chocolate expert, with a little bit more on what you can expect if you come out today.
Yes, we've got an assortment of items here. It's not all chocolate, so if you think you're not a chocolate person, we've got a lot of items here that are available. We've got carrot cake, we've got brownies that have a little bit of spice in them, so beware. We've got M&M bars from Bread Smith, so we've got a lot of items here for you to choose from.
Yeah, and a lot of local businesses are getting in on the action and donating some of their supplies. Who have we had donate today?
Oh gosh, the community here in Fargo is so generous. We have got Gigi's Cupcake, Nothing But Cakes. As I said earlier, brownies from Bread Smith. Crack Pepper has donated some homemade items. She's known for kind of her scotcheroos and homemade brownies and treats. We've got the chocolate fountain, of course, and we've got items that are donated for that as well. So we've got a plethora of items that you can choose from.
That's right. So you're going to want to come out today, like I said, from 11 to 2 at the Delta by Marriott for a good cause. Back to you.
Nice. Sweet treats for a sweet cause. Maybe we can see you try some of those treats and give us a little bit of a taste test next time, Bree. That'd be nice. All right. Thank you very much. Man, it's a good day for some sweets. I mean, what is a bad day for sweets, really?
That's true. I could definitely go for some of those chocolate-covered strawberries I've seen on the screen there. So.
Yeah, I love a nice fondue, too.
Yeah.
Little chocolate fountain.
Yeah.
Oh, the weather is going to be nice if you're heading out there today, right?
It is, Adam. Waking up to a pretty nice start to your early Thursday. Still seeing a bit of that smoke and haze, but overall, things will continue to improve as we're heading into the afternoon. I'll keep you up to date right here in about 1 minute.
You're watching KVRR Local News, where local news comes first.
Hey. It's better than yes.
It is better than yes, but I feel like she should start with good morning, guys.
3, 2, 1.
Good morning, Moorhead. It is currently 8:14 this morning, and we are waking up to overall a pretty nice start to your early Thursday. Here's a look into Concordia at 8 or 8th Street at Concordia. People are heading out to class, and not a bad morning to head out to class, although you may want to hold on to maybe that lighter jacket or a long sleeve shirt, just something that you can keep you kind of warm through the morning, and that you might get a little hot heading throughout the afternoon. But overall temperatures this morning right around 45 degrees, so a bit cool. You just want to keep that in mind and maybe hold on to that cup of coffee as you're heading out the door this morning to class or even heading out to work. But if you're looking at your current temperatures across the region, much of those temperatures starting out the morning in the 40s, 47 in Grand Forks, 46 in Detroit Lakes, even 50, getting warmer right here into Fargo, and even 45 in Grafton. So again, we're dealing with a pretty light south wind, so not too much to worry about today, but we do have to keep in mind that we are still dealing with some of those fall-like temperatures, more seasonable temperatures as we're heading through September. But overnight tonight, we'll do a bit better in terms of overnight lows, a bit warmer heading into your early Friday morning. 54 in Fargo overnight and 51 in Grand Forks. 52 mostly through Lakes Country and about 55 down into Siston. Looks like probably the warmer spot overnight, but overall pretty uniform in terms of temperatures, and we are going to continue to see those more seasonable temperatures continue throughout majority of your weekend. Slightly warmer on Friday with a high of about 80 on your Weather Authority forecast, but if you're looking into Saturday, we are going to see the chance of some early morning showers, mostly when you're sleeping and waking up. So if you are kind of an early riser, if you're heading out the door early on Saturday, you do want to keep that in mind and kind of keep that rain jacket with you.
Okay, I'll go find my rain jacket. I'm not even sure where it is at the moment.
Okay, you kind of got to dig it out the bottom of the tote there.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's on top of the winter stuff at least. I don't have to dig through that stuff yet.
That's good.
Thanks, Mariah. One agency says what happened weather-wise this summer will go down in the record books. We have details in today's Ag Day Minute.
I'm Clinton Griffiths with today's Ag Day Minute. The heat this summer apparently making it into the record books. The Copernicus Climate Change Service, an EU-funded program, says the past 3 months have been the hottest ever recorded. The summer of 2023 also saw record-breaking sea surface temperatures in the North Atlantic and globally, and marine heat waves were recorded in Europe, in the Mediterranean, around the UK, and Ireland. The UN chief has warned of, quote, climate chaos amid the hottest summer on record. He urged world leaders to take immediate action. Anheuser-Busch has a new promotional investor. Last quarter, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation Trust bought $95 million worth of shares in the company. Gates did it around the time Bud Light alienated some of the company's core base because of its partnership with a transgender influencer. Now, since then, Anheuser-Busch stock has dropped about 2%. Gates has previously said he's not a big beer drinker. He's also invested nearly $1 billion worth of shares into Heineken Holding. And the maker of Cup of Noodles says it's releasing 2 new products to give late-night gamers a boost. They're caffeinated to help players stay awake and soup-free to avoid drips on gaming gear. They come in 2 flavors, garlic and black pepper yakisoba and curry. For more Ag News, watch Ag Day weekdays on the station or anytime at agweb.com.
I'd try the caffeine noodles. Look pretty good. I always like this cup of noodles. Reminds me of my college days. We'll celebrate Spuds, Dilly Bars, and more. Greater Moorhead Days starts today. We have the full rundown of 10 days celebrating the great Minnesota city after the break.
2 mentions of Adam's college days today. Seems like it.
Maybe he wants to go back to Boulder. I want to go back to Boulder.
I don't want to go back to Denver. I really don't.
Yeah.
So much pollution.
Oh yeah, you went to school there too, huh?
Yeah.
This time I sound on one.
You're watching KVRR Local News, where local news comes first.
Republican presidential candidate and North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum is finished this morning with a 2-day campaign swing through Iowa where he hosted multiple events. The first one being a meet and greet at Pizza Ranch in Shelby County. He was joined by his wife, Catherine. Burgum also took part in a Crawford County meet and greet in Denison. He was seen talking with people while using a knee scooter and wearing a boot. Burgum injured himself playing basketball the night before the first GOP primary debate in Milwaukee 2 weeks ago. Deer bow hunting season is on this morning. Hunters are heading to the forest and fields looking to bag that trophy buck. While North Dakota Game and Fish wants people to enjoy themselves while they're hunting, they're also asking people to be mindful of a few things. They're asking hunters not to park on the sides of roads when going out to hunt to leave room for farmers and their heavy equipment. They are also asking people to help monitor deer suffering from chronic wasting disease. Game and Fish has tests that can determine if the deer has the disease.
All we're asking a hunter to do is, if you could, stop by and drop your deer head off. Then Game and Fish can pick up the heads, and there's drop sites. There's one in Grand Forks at the Grand Forks Sheriff's Department. You can find all the different locations. You can drop them off at our Game and Fish offices in Jamestown and Devil's Lake. You can find all those locations on our Game and Fish Department website.
Doug Lear says the deer's lymph nodes are tested to determine if it has chronic wasting disease. Today kicks off Greater Moorhead Days, 10 days chock full of events celebrating the city. KVRR's Aaron Walling shows us what people can expect this year.
The 2023 Greater Moorhead Days is an exciting time for local businesses and the community, as the next 10 days will be filled with celebrations.
It's really exciting to put together so many great events for the community. We've got a real diversity of things to celebrate this year.
There's going to be carnivals, concerts, and farmers markets. Fun for the whole family in the metro area, which starts with cruise nights on Thursday over by the mall, and ending with the Imagination Theater at the Moorhead Public Library on the 16th.
It's fun to ham it up and do the things that we usually do, but just add a little extra celebration and flair to all of these events.
Speaking of the metro area, there's a lot of construction going on here in Moorhead, and there are signs like this throughout the town which could impact your route.
Construction never makes these things easy.
So where can you park? And will the construction cause issues for the events?
Our events should avoid a lot of the construction, but if you run into, needing overflow parking for the Moorhead Farmers Market, for example, folks can park across the way at the Moorhead Center Mall, and that applies here at Memorial Park as well for that concert on Saturday.
Despite those challenges with the roadways, the 10-day celebration will go on. Reporting in Moorhead, Aaron Walling, KVRR Local News.
You can find the full schedule for Greater Moorhead Days on KVRR.com. Well, enjoy some divine sweets and help women in need right here in the Metro. That's right. Sounds almost too good to be true, almost like a fantasy. Well, we are live at YWCA's Chocolate Fantasy coming up.
Nice. It's a chunky white. When you're injured or have
It looked like gravy, dude.
that gravy needs some pepper. Thank you, both of them. We are timed about even. Look at Duluth right now.
Big boat!
Big boat?
2 big boats in the back too.
Honk.
Is that a goose?
No, it's a boat.
That was a big boat.
Oh, okay.
It's a goose boat.
Like a belly bag.
Hi. Thank you. Slaughter.
Good morning. It is currently 8:26 this morning, and we are waking up and taking a look at I-94 west of Fargo. Overall traffic is setting up and moving through pretty busy this morning, as you can see. You should always, of course, take it safe to get to where you need to be, and of course, it is construction season, so keeping that in mind during some of these rush hours is also important to get the rest of your day started. But here is a look at your satellite radar. As you'll see, not too much happening because not too much is happening as we're heading throughout much of our day today. We're mostly going to stay more on the drier and cooler side. We'll have a few clouds in the northern valley just passing through, and this is your Thursday afternoon on your Futurecast right around about 5. As you can see, some of those passing clouds across portions of northeast North Dakota, but overall, again, nothing too much to worry about as we're heading into your afternoon. But unfortunately, heading through early portions of Friday and into Saturday, we're going to see some increase in clouds, and eventually with those clouds increasing, we are going to see some isolated rain showers into Saturday morning. This is about 3 a.m. starting out west of the valley through areas of Devil's Lake in between I-94 west into Bismarck. Again, you'll see some of those showers progressing into your Fargo-Moorhead area as you're waking up and as you're getting out the door. So if you have some early morning activities, you want to keep in mind that some of the roads are going to be a bit damp, a bit wet. So hopefully you can bring your umbrella or even your rain jacket just to keep with you through the early morning hours, because things are pretty much going to come through and kind of work their way through Lakes Country, even a bit heavy at times, as you can see some of those darker shades of those colors there, but it will clear out fairly quickly heading into the rest of your Saturday. So you'll see things clearing out to overall a pretty nice Saturday afternoon. Here's a look this morning into your Langdon in-dawn cam facing about southwest. Overall, a very golden start to the morning, a pretty nice start for portions in the northern and northeast valley today. Dealing with a bit of haze, you can kind of tell there on the cam, but also some blue skies as well. So a mix of some different things happening as we're heading throughout the afternoon. But overnight tonight, overnight lows are going to do pretty well, a bit warmer than the morning that we are seeing today by about 10 degrees or so. 54 for the overnight low tonight, 50 in Langdon, and about 55 tonight in Siston. Looks like that warmest spot on the map there. But on your KVRR Weather Authority 7-day forecast, as you're heading throughout your Friday, a high of about 80, and again, those early morning showers that you're going to probably wake up to, pushing through the valley into portions of Lakes Country as well. They will be heavy at times, but overall, we are heading into a pretty good weekend once we deal with some of those rain showers.
Okay, yeah, just get a little bit of rain out of the way, and it helps keep things nice and cool for the weekend.
Yeah, it does.
All right, thank you very much, Mariah. A 9-month-long bombing siege on the people of London begins on this day in 1940. Hitler's London Blitz was designed to knock the UK out of World War II. Nightly bombings forced the city's residents underground. More than 20,000 people died in the city during the Blitz. Another 23,000 died outside the city. The Blitz continued until the next May. But London would not be defeated. The famous saying, "keep calm and carry on," was inspired by the perseverance of British citizens during the war. Well, still ahead on KVRR Local News this morning, we are live one more time at the YWCA Chocolate Fantasy. Find out about some of the great programs your sweet tooth could help. And this Halloween, you might want to thank our region's drought for your jack-o'-lantern. Find out why. Speaking of spooky, a thrift store gets a donation of a human skull. Yep, that happened, and it's in your morning buzz. And finally, something less spooky and more sparky. We meet Spark the Pup in this week's Pet Connection.
My friend told me
2 minutes away. 2 minutes.
You're watching KVRR Local News, where local news comes first.
If you like chocolate, and who doesn't, you're going to love this event the YWCA is hosting today. KVRR's Bree Bolin is there live with more on things that will be going on throughout the event. Good morning, Bree.
Good morning. Yes, I am here at the Delta by Marriott, where the 40th annual Chocolate Fantasy by YWCA is going to be happening today. There's going to be stuff for the whole family, from a silent auction to treats and food. I'm here with Becky, or should I say my new best friend, the chocolate expert, with a little bit more on what you can expect for today's lunch.
Well, we talked earlier about the dessert aspect of it, but we also have chili available here today. We've got 2 types of chili. We've got vegetarian chili that's been generously donated by the Delta, and we also have regular chili that Paradiso and Cisco Foods have donated for the past how many years. And we also have some delicious buns from Great Plains Harvest. And yeah, you can come in and have a decent lunch and then top it off with chocolate. Yeah, we're excited about the chili.
We are excited about the chili. I do have to say, in between these hits, I did try some of the chocolate. I've been eating some chocolate chippers. I say multiple because I've had multiple of these chippers from Carol Widman's Candy. I've also tried some of the truffles from Nicole's Fine Pastry, and it is going to be delicious. So you're going to want to come out today from 11 to 2 for YWCA's Chocolate Fantasy. They're also going to have some celebrity servers, including myself. So come on out and see me. Back to you.
You can get chocolate from you today? That's awesome. So you're guessing you're going to be there, Bree, giving people advice on which chocolate to eat. If you had to tell people now, which chocolate would you say go to first?
I can't even decide. We're standing here in the aisles of all of the chocolate, and I don't know what I would go for first. I'm thinking brownies are my favorite. That's probably my go-to. So probably the brownies, but honestly, those truffles from Nicole's Fine Pastry were delicious also.
And Nicole makes a fine pastry indeed. Okay, well, looking forward to that and seeing you serve up some sweets for people. Thanks, Bree. Fargo City Commissioners unanimously approve a December 5th special election to decide the fate of a $140 million expansion and renovation project for the Fargo Dome. There will be one question on the ballot. City taxpayers will decide whether to approve a quarter-cent bump in the local sales tax and a 3% increase in the city lodging tax to pay for the proposed updates. City Auditor Steve Sprague says only paper ballots will be used and they will be counted by hand. There will be 3 polling locations, the Fargo Dome, Ramada Inn, and Fargo Civic Center. There will be no early voting allowed, but absentee ballots will be provided. If the proposal passes with the required 60%, the taxes will continue for 20 years.
The same system will be set up, that the tax will end, and then if there are some revenues left over, it will be put into this fund to maintain the facility, which I think has been a great thing. Everyone will agree with that.
Fargo Dome was built after a half-cent sales tax was approved by voters in 1988. That tax has since expired. If you're heading out the door, here's your fast forecast to get your Thursday started. Pretty mild temperatures, a lot of haze. We're back in 2 minutes.
If you overdraw your account, Wells Fargo gives you an extra day grace period to avoid the overdraft fee.
Fight over both of those.
Depends on how many other lots you have. Probably.
Yeah, it'll depend entirely if there's room on the table for more than one sheet of paper.
Good morning, Wahpeton. It is currently 8:36 and we are waking up to overall a pretty nice start to the morning. As you can tell, the sun is on the rise this morning and overall a pretty clear start to the morning in Wahpeton if we're heading out the door to start your Thursday. But overall 46 degrees as of right now. Even it feels like at 44 this morning. So pretty crisp, pretty brisk as you're heading out the door. So you might want to hold on to, again, that lighter jacket. But again, we're heading into a pretty nice day. Here's a bigger picture of what's kind of happening across much of the U.S. We are looking at your national satellite radar. There is a high pressure situated a bit further south from us and even a bit further south here as well. But it is mostly keeping us fairly calm and fairly quiet as we're heading through the ending of our week at least. We are seeing some rain showers off further into the east towards areas of even Chicago, out towards areas on the east coast there, even in stretching into a bit of North Carolina as well. But we are heading into a pretty quiet ending to the week. But here is your school pickup because, of course, school is in session this morning. Overall, a sunny day. You might want to hold on to that lighter jacket heading into class or walking to school if you have to walk to school. But overall, 74 degrees and, again, a pretty sunny start to your afternoon and ending of your evening as well. A quick look here on your Weather Authority 7-day forecast. 80 to start your weekend off on Friday, and then we're seeing 73 on Saturday with a chance of showers and some of those early morning storms.
Okay, so nothing too bad. We don't have like the crazy wind we had a couple days ago.
Right.
Or hopefully it's not super muggy like it was this morning.
Yeah, overall not too bad, just those showers to deal with.
Okay, thank you very much, Mariah. Well, usually a drought is highly problematic for agriculture. But for one important seasonal crop, a lack of water may have actually helped production. Susan Elizabeth Littlefield visited a Minnesota pumpkin patch.
All's quiet on this New Prague farm, but not for long.
And nature tells him to grow upside down so he doesn't hold water here.
Fran Barton,
I can kind of tell this one will end up being a white one.
and her son Joe are feeling out the harvest. And
What's your emotion as you look right now?
Oh, sheer surprise and joy, and I don't even know if I can express it.
for a while, though, things were looking bleak.
After about 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks, only about 5 or 10% had germinated. So that's not very good.
90% of those pumpkins started about 3 weeks late, which was scary for this pumpkin picking family with 11 kids and 41 grandkids.
And to me, I think the biggest joy is just seeing my family being so happy out here and being together. But the second joy is passing that on to people who have not been in the country.
And now they know that they will be able to once again invite droves of guests out to the country. Thankfully, the hardy, deep-rooted crop doesn't need much water once it starts growing.
Isn't he just absolutely beautiful?
It's pretty fortunate that with the little rain that we got, things are looking this good.
And the weather seemed to dry up a pesky problem.
I did not see one squash beetle this year. No bugs.
But there are plenty of pumpkins in plenty of colors, shapes, and sizes, planted with love.
What is your hope with every pumpkin that they take home with them?
That it brings them some joy, and I think it brings families together. It does ours. Who would have thought that pumpkins would do all that?
Pumpkins, a lot of power, huh? Mother Nature appears to be helping out the Bartons yet again. Cool nights expected this week will help make the pumpkins easier to pick.
Monitor.
Oh, there you go. You got your pick of the pumpkins this holiday season before the bugs got to them. That's nice. Coming up, thrift stores. Get some weird donations, but usually not this weird. A human skull, oh my goodness, shows up at Goodwill. That is frightening, and it's next in your morning buzz.
Mike's my tune set. Adam approves. Adam and Q.
I thought it was a little dark. I had to.
Did you enjoy 15?
Yeah, the eye. That's in that. That's the eye. It's the best part.
We are timed even. Mariah.
Hi.
Where are you gonna be?
In Texas.
Good.
All your exes
You
are
have a
down there?
hole in the back of your dress.
I know.
Camera on 2-shot.
Good thing you're wearing leggings.
I know. Yeah.
Good thing you never turn around on cam.
I mean, if I did, I don't care. Oh, I almost died.
Unfortunately, you didn't.
You know what, Luke? We can...
We got a house.
Oh.
Yeah.
In Omaha.
In Omaha.
Ooh.
That we could afford.
Raw. Raw.
Oh yeah, you weren't at the thing yesterday.
You're gonna go on my Instagram. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Can I go on your Instagram?
Well, at this point, your voice is gonna be on there.
Oh boy. Just what I want.
Is it alive?
No, it's just a
Came off.
recording. It's just like it's gonna go on.
You're talking about it this morning on social media.
These are the stories making buzz today. Well, a song generated by artificial intelligence to mimic voices of Drake and The Weeknd has been submitted for Grammy consideration. Drake and The Weeknd aren't involved actually in the making of the song, Heart on My Sleeve. An anonymous artist by the name of Ghostwriter created the song.
And then had AI generate the sound of the artist's voices for it. In the New York Times report, the Recording Academy says the song is eligible for consideration since it was written by a human. Heart on My Sleeve was submitted for the Best Rap Song and Song of the Year categories. It would be wild if it got a nomination, and that would open up a whole can of worms, I think.
I think it would too. I haven't heard the song, but I wonder how they can let them just like mimic the voice. Well, I guess it's not using their voice, so.
Well, I mean, you had to use samples of their voices in order to, approximate it. The important thing is, I have no idea, the story doesn't mention if Drake or The Weeknd have given permission to do this.
Right, that's what I'm wondering too.
Because then that, I don't know if that puts it in some murky legal water. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, this is also brand new. It's hard to really tell with the AI technology.
That's true.
An auction of artifacts owned by former Queen frontman Freddie Mercury is raked in $15.4 million. It took Sotheby's more than 4.5 hours to sell 59 items. The biggest sale was also one of the more disappointing. This piano Mercury used to compose many Queen hits sold for $2.2 million. It was expected to get at least 2.5.
But the silver snake bangle he wrote on the Bohemian Rhapsody video fetched $881,000 against a minimum value of $9,000. A manuscript of lyrics thought to be worth about $1 million went for $1.7. There are still hundreds of items to be sold in the upcoming auctions, but most of them are less viable.
I would absolutely love to have something that Freddie Mercury owned. In my opinion, he's my favorite rock vocalist of all time.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, I love Queen.
Yeah.
I went and saw them in concert about a decade ago with Adam Lambert, their new frontman, and just amazing music. I loved it ever since I was a little kid.
Oh, that would have been cool to see that.
Yeah, well, they still tour around, so maybe you can catch them at some point.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, this next story is absolutely wild. An unusual donation, very unusual, at a Goodwill in Arizona. Now, is police investigating?
Jason Berry has more on the human remains that were found in a box.
People donate stuff to Goodwill all the time. Pillows, jackets, even a coffee mug. But there was something dropped off here a few days ago that got the attention of Goodyear police.
It was not what employees at this West Valley Goodwill store expected to see in a donation bin, a human skull. This is a picture of the skull that was found. Goodyear police tell us someone dropped off a box of items a few days ago at the Goodwill off Yuma and Sorreville, and the skull was inside. Detectives were called out to investigate and immediately sent the skull to the medical examiner's office, which determined that the skull was in fact real, but it was not part of any crime. The skull appears to be part of some historic ancient remains.
Goodwill did do the right thing. Anything suspicious should always be reported, and certainly anything that appears to be human remains should be reported to police right away.
I've never heard of anything donated like this, especially here. Like, I come to this Goodwill all the time, and I've never heard of anything that crazy being donated.
We're told Goodwill police will continue their investigation, but no criminal charges will be filed against the person who donated the skull.
It's still unclear where the skull came from, someone's collection, a classroom, or someplace else. Goodyear PD is still searching for answers, but says at least they know it didn't come from a crime scene. In the West Valley, Jason Berry for Arizona's Family.
Ooh-wee. I love going to thrift stores, and you see some weird stuff there, but not that weird. Wow. What's the weirdest thing you've ever found at a thrift store? I don't know. I have a giant inflatable sriracha bottle sitting on my desk that I got for 50 cents at a Goodwill. Far cry from a human skull, but you know, they probably can't sell those. Well, let us know on Facebook and Twitter. You can also get all of your news, weather, and sports anytime at KVRR.com and the Weather Authority app.
I can't say that I've found anything crazy at a thrift store yet, but you can also keep it with your KVRR Weather Authority on our Instagram and Facebook as well. And you should also send in some pretty cool photos if you have any as you're heading through these next couple of days or maybe into your weekend. But you can submit them on KVRR.com, click on the Morning Show tab, or you can submit videos too at the KVRR Weather Authority on our Facebook. But let's talk about how our days are getting shorter, unfortunately. By the time we're heading to at least even the ending of September, that sunset is going to be down to about 7:13 right now. Today the sun will set right around 7:53, and as you'll see, gradually it is going to get again on the earlier side. The first day of fall is Saturday, September 23rd, so you just want to keep that in mind, and you'll see that eventually by the time we're heading into the ending of September, that sunset will be just right around 7:13, Adam. So we got to take advantage of these longer days while we can.
Well, I'm normally asleep by that point of the day, especially during the week. And
that's true.
A couple days ago, it was very dark and overcast, and it almost seemed like it was dark when I was getting ready to go to bed, and it was so nice.
Yeah, I think I remember that day. It was kind of cloudy. I think it was like Monday or Tuesday, somewhere in there.
Yeah, early this week.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is good news for people with crazy schedules like us.
Yes, that's true.
All right, thanks, Mariah. Well, Pet Connection is next. We've got a fun-loving pup from our friends at the UFTA Animal Rescue joining us this week. Don't miss it. We're back meeting that pup in just 2 minutes.
Louder in here. Turn my sound on one.
Tickets for Frankie Ballard are on sale now. Start at just $18. Get yours at starcasinos.com.
Well, we've got a pup who will add a spark of energy to your home. In fact, that's what they named him, Spark. He's a big boy who's still a young pup, so let's meet him in this week's Pet Connection from the UFTA Animal Rescue in Cando, North Dakota.
Hi, I'm Kendall with the UFTA Fund for Animal Rescue in Cando, North Dakota. This sweet boy is Spark. He is a 4.5-month-old mixed breed puppy. He is neutered and will be up to date on vaccinations when adopted. He is kennel trained, potty trained, and we're working on leash training. He does know the basic command of sit. He's great with people. He did just run the mutt strut last weekend with some new kids that he just met, and he did very, very well. He's a beautiful brindle color and has light colored green eyes. If you're interested in adopting Spark, you can either go on our Facebook page, visit our website at www.ooftofunforanimals.org, or give us a call at 701-230-4014.
Spark, such a big boy, such a young age. Probably going to get a little bigger. We'll have more information on the morning show page on KVRR.com in a little bit if you are interested in Spark. Well, keeping on the animal theme this morning, don't call him a dirty rat. This guy is just promoting the Big Apple in a creative way. He is making New York City's rodents internet celebrities and showing visitors where they can find the city's vermin. CNN's Jeannie Mose reports.
Move over, TikTok.
Here we go. Oh.
It's Rat Talk. Rat Talk's a scream. Featuring regular nighttime excursions to record New York City rats dodging the feet of pedestrians, or better yet, colliding with them. Descending like a fireman.
Look at this. Oh my God.
Down a pole. Some fans are so into it that instead of visiting the Empire State Building or Lady Liberty, they'd rather take liberties with rats by arranging a rat tour, like this Pennsylvania man who grabbed a rat's tail at a construction site in Queens. The guy who runs Rat Talk is no rat-loving Willard.
They'll do anything I tell them.
Do you have a thing for rats?
Absolutely not. I don't like rats at all.
Kenny Bulwark started streaming rats live on TikTok so he could rat them out to the city of New York for extermination. But then his videos started drawing fans. How could they not when you can see Kenny's friend Mariah show up with a fishing rod?
Hey buddy, how they biting?
Oh, they were biting.
He caught a rat. Well, he didn't catch a rat. What happened?
Yeah, so he threw the bread out there on the wire. There was no bait or hook or anything like that, so we weren't trying to harm it. It was just kind of just for fun.
Like I went on!
And since out-of-towners seem excited to see rats,
My first rat experience in New York.
Kenny started offering free rat tours.
Make their memories.
See them fight over a bagel, feel them run between your feet. Even a New York City rat knows.
If I can make it there, you know I'm gonna make it anywhere.
Jeannie Mose, CNN.
New York.
New York.
My stomach's kind of queasy after watching that. Which sucks, because I'm going to need an iron stomach, because today might be my favorite holiday of the year. I would have taken the day off to celebrate if Emily were here. Yay! Beer! It's in 2 minutes.
Get up to 10% off sale prices during the Labor Day sale.
Heavy 42 seconds.
The crazy thing is, I feel like there's someone in North Dakota that looks like that man.
Take one. 10 seconds,
probably
no
like
buck straight
100.
to you guys.
Pain-free. I'm out golfing, and it's great to have
5,
my life back.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Cheers! Today is National Beer Lovers Day. This is also disturbing. The origin of brewing beer actually predates recorded history. I don't know how they know that since history wasn't being recorded. But back to ancient Egyptians, possibly much earlier, beer is also a well-known part of American history. Virginia colonists brewed beer with barley, malt, and hops. George Washington recorded a recipe for brewing beer in his notes. Whether it's an IPA or a PBR, both good choices. You can celebrate the day on social media. Photos of your beer of choice with the hashtag National Beer Lovers Day. And of course, there is a plethora of great breweries in our local area. I'm so disturbed by so many things on this image. Least of all is I have a thumb ring in
Adam,
this?
I think we should get one of those in real life for you.
A thumb ring.
Yes, I support it. I'm gonna try to make that happen.
Okay. You can go ahead and do that if you want.
Okay. Well, Fargo, if you're heading out the door this morning, waking up to a pretty nice start to the morning. Temperatures slightly warming up, but still on the cooler side. 55 degrees as of right now, with some winds mostly from the south today, under about 10 miles per hour as you were heading into your afternoon. But overall, we'll stay mostly sunny and mostly clear for majority of the day, and heading into a pretty calm and a quiet ending to your night. A quick look here on your Weather Authority forecast heading through Friday. Temperatures in the 80s, upper 70s as well, but still a bit warmer across our region, and we're heading into a pretty nice lineup for your Saturday and Sunday after we get through some of those early morning showers.
Okay, nice weekend, a little bit of rain, nothing too bad, still pretty good considering we're heading into mid-September almost.
That's true.
All right, thanks, Mariah. Family Feud is next. Get all your news, weather, and sports on KVRR.com and the morning show and the Weather Authority app. We don't have a morning show app. We should get one. Check out KVRR, local news tonight at 6 to 9. We're back Friday morning. Have a good one.
Yeah.
There, is that good enough for your football?
Adam, is that good for you, Adam? The monitor.
Oh, it's perfect. Yes, thank you.